What's up, gang? Hey man, I got another banger. Make sure you watch this until the very end because I got a ton of gold nuggets. Also hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you haven't done so already, jump into the CLG community. You get a 7-day free trial. Then after that, it's only $48 a month, and you get access to all of my work. When I say all of it, I mean all of it. Everything that's going to help you become elite sooner rather than later. And without further ado, let's just jump right into this video.
I'm going to list these things off, and I wrote them down to make sure I don't forget it. You don't care about mandatory paternity tests. You don't care about paternity fraud. You don't care about male suicide rates. You don't care about equalizing hard, laborious jobs outside. You don't want to equalize that. You don't care about what happens to people that are falsely accused, which is almost always exclusively men. You don't actually care about the declining school performance, the rise in ADHD diagnosis, and the medication, the psychiatric medication that comes from it. You don't care about the lack of homeless shelters for men. You don't care about the weaponization of the family court, the equal custodial rights, reproductive say for men, reduction in child support and alimony, pathologizing of just men and masculinity in general, negative attitudes towards even men that want a nuclear family. You don't think or care about any of these things. And I'm not even saying it's just the feminists that don't care about it.
Nobody
I'm saying most people who don't do what I do don't care about this at all. And you're creating, and we talked about this 80-20 rule. What's happening to the 80%? You don't care.
Not good.
And the beauty is if I just get the man I want, if I just get the partner I want, if I just, I don't care. I don't care about what's happening with men. Let's bring attention back to women. That's what the detective did in that show.
Right.
And that is what society in Western cultures is unfortunately like. Most people only care about males or boys or men if they are their brother, their son, or their father, or their uncle, or their close friend. This society, in the quest to be fair to women, to improve their rights, allowed the worst representatives to take it to its furthest extreme.
Right.
When we talk so much about misogyny, most women can't tell you what the term is for a strong distaste and hatred for men. What's the term? What's
Misandry.
the misandry? Being a misandrist. Most men's experiences that we keep labeling as incels, we keep labeling as misogynists. Their experiences in coworker situations, in the schools, dating, on dating apps, is that a lot of women are either misandrous or they're so reductionistic of men that if you don't have the money, you have no say and you need to shut up. And even if you do have the money, it's happy wife, happy life once I'm in your life.
So the reason I wanted to play that video is because the dude was speaking facts, but I really wanted to play that video because I've noticed the guys who aren't where they want to be with women, whether those guys are in the CLG community or whatever the case is, the ones that aren't where they want to be with women are usually the ones that care too much about women. Now, when I was making my CLG community, I started off with the foundation. That's one of the first courses that I made. Inside of the foundation, at the end of the foundation, I said, if you care too much about women, you will not be successful with them. You will not be successful because you're worried too much about what she thinks. For example, you'll get a guy who could easily have slept with a girl or hooked up with her or whatever the case is, but he was like, oh, I don't want to come off too thirsty. Oh, I don't want to come off as this. Oh, I didn't know if she was ready. Oh, I didn't know if this and this. There's only one way to find out if she's ready. You follow the process. I give you so many different compliance tests to test if she's ready. I give you so many different scripts to get her through the process. If you don't use them because you're afraid of her giving you objection, or you're afraid of her saying no, or you're afraid of being rejected, that means you care too much about the girl. And this is why you don't get results. The reason women act the way that they act is because they try to mimic the behavior of the men that they obsess over. So if they obsess over a man, they try to mimic his behavior. They remember a guy that they used to be obsessed over, and then they remember all these guys that they didn't care about at all. They don't even see as human. And then they try to mimic the behavior of the guy they were obsessed over. This is why you get women gaslighting. This is why you'll get women that are extremely narcissistic. This is why you'll get women who don't care about nothing but themselves. Because the guy that they obsessed over had those traits. That's why I try to tell you guys, masculinity is selfish. masculinity is, it's my way or no way. Masculinity is, if you don't do what I say, I don't want you. Masculinity is all these things, and you can throw all of these derogatory terms out there. I really don't give a fuck. You can call me a womanizer, you can call me a fuckboy, you can call me whatever the case is. I do not care. Because at the end of the day, I know what works, and I'm going to do what works. And so in order for me to have an enjoyable life, I'm not going to fall into the trap that most men fall into, and they do all of the work and they get no reward. Little to no reward. So why would I do that? And to be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. One of the characteristic traits of extremely violent men are men that a lot of the times don't actually get pussy. They are men that do not actually consistently get pussy. And these men become extremely violent. These men end up doing some really, really horrible things. Some of these men go after underage kids. Some of these men do some very demonic things because they have not figured out the opposite sex. So where I try to jump on and I try to help you guys out, the first and foremost thing before we even get any further is you have to turn your care down with women, because they do not care about you. You have to care about yourself. In the plane, when they say the plane is falling, they say you got to put your mask on first before you help somebody else put their mask on. You have to look out for yourself before you can help others. That's how it is with dating. You have to put your interest first before you can even consider hers. And for most men, when they talk to a girl, they're not trying to marry her just because she looks beautiful. For most men, they're trying to fuck her. It is her job to secure the ring and secure the bag. It is her job to secure that with good behavior. When men look at women, men, in most cases, want to fuck women. And if you think I'm lying, why is OnlyFans models making $48 million a year? Why is the corn industry so popular? Why is strip clubs always making millions upon millions? Why is all of these things that sell sex to men, why is it so popular? Because that's what men want. And what I tell guys is, if you try to be something that you're not, you try to act like you're trying to court this girl, that is feminine behavior. Because she knows it and you know that you want to fuck. So when you do something outside of what is known that you want, she's going to look at you as a sucker. And the last thing that you want your wife looking at you, or your girlfriend or your significant other to look at you, is the last thing that you want her to look at you is a sucker or a bitch. I'll give you some perfect examples. My girl, I'm going to Dallas. I'm sick as fuck right now. I'm trying to sweat the rest of it out. My girl, she knows I'm going to Dallas tomorrow. First thing in the morning. My girl, in her head, she thinks I'm going to fuck every girl in Dallas. Now, do I try to eliminate that from her brain? No. Because the fact that she thinks that I can fuck every girl in Dallas, that puts me at a very high level in her brain. The fact that she even think that I can fuck every girl, and I even said that, I said, what make you think I'm gonna fuck every girl in Dallas? She's like, CJ, you're a very determined person and you get what you want, and for us girls that's very attractive, and if you wanted to, you could probably fuck any girl you want. By her mind believing that, she puts me on a pedestal in her head. The opposite of that is having a husband or a man that she knows he can go anywhere. He wouldn't bust a grape in a fucking fruit fight. He couldn't get no pussy if it was, this is her belief. he couldn't get no pussy if it was laid out and given to him on a motherfucking platter. Now, that girl who believes that her husband cannot get any pussy, she believes her husband is a bitch. Now, she's the one on the pedestal. And she doesn't like that position because she lacks respect for her man. But the one that believes that their man can get any motherfucking girl that they want, that's the girl that has very high respect for her man. This is why when I'm sick, she making sure all my meals is cooked, giving me soup, buying me stuff to stay hydrated, making sure I have all types of stuff. Why is she treating me like this? Because her respect for me is high. Contrary to what you believe about women. What you believe about women is you believe that if your woman suspects you of cheating, that she's actually going to give you the worst treatment. She's actually going to be angry all the time. She's actually going to leave you. That is not the case. If she respects you enough and she looks at you as higher than her, she will actually do more for you to keep you in her life. She will do more for you to keep you in her life. And then my rotation chick, the one that's in Dallas waiting for me, just wrote me a text message saying, is there anything that I can get you before you come? Why are these girls treating me like this? Because their respect is high. Guess what? If their respect was low for me, none of these girls would probably even be in my life right now. Isn't that crazy? That when a girl has little to no respect for a man, she doesn't even want to see them again. She doesn't want to talk to them again. She doesn't want nothing to do with them. Isn't that crazy? And we had one of the guys in the CLG community, and he brought up a very interesting point. He was like, the girls in my life, they treat me like a king, man. I'm starting to love girls again. And me and one of the guys in the group, we had to let him know. He was like, yeah, they're treating you like that because they respect you. That means that you're doing everything right. That means that, and what I mean by everything right, I'm not talking about the stuff that the mainstream media talks about. I'm talking about the stuff that's in the CLG community. I'm talking about that right. You feel me? Doing the stuff that's inside of the CLG community. You're doing everything right in those terms. Which is actually the opposite of mainstream. Which is crazy to even think about. When you're doing everything right in the terms of CLG community, right? Moving to the beat of your own drum, being selfish, turning down your care. The list goes on and on, but y'all heard me say it a million times. The stuff that women actually respond to, that their bodies respond to. When you're doing everything right in that category, yes, you will have women treating you like a king. But when you go back to the mainstream media and you start doing everything right in terms of mainstream media standards, that is when you will have women treating you like you're less than. That is how the world works. I hate to break it to you, fellas. The truth will set you free. The truth will open your mind. The truth will get you the results that you want. We got new members that just joined the community. They don't even have access to the dating course. And they just came out of community with other pretty big dating coaches. And just them jumping into this community, they already getting results. And what I mean by results is they're actually getting pussy. They're actually getting pussy. Because that's what we do it for as men. Let's not kid ourselves. Did you know that the more that I figured out women and the more pussy that I got from real women, did you know the less corn consumption that I've done? Did you know the less jacking off I have done? Did you know the less degenerate stuff that actually drains me of my energy, that actually stops me from making money? Did you know I've done far less of that because I can actually go outside, talk to a woman, and get pussy from that woman? Did you know that there are nights, especially the other night when I was sick, that I have to fight my main chick off of me from trying to suck my dick? Did you know that? Did you know I have girls trying to, and when I go to Dallas, until I fully overcome this cold, I might not even fuck her the first couple nights. I'm probably going to have to fight her off of me, or I'm probably going to wake up to a blowjob. When you operate a certain type of way, you don't have to be 6'6". You don't have to be the richest guy in the world. Women want to please you. They want you to be satisfied. They go back to their natural state, which is a feminine state. If a girl is in her masculine state, you're doing something to force her to stay masculine. If she's in her masculine state, you're doing something to force her to stay masculine, meaning that you're acting feminine. Now, if you're acting masculine, she goes back to her feminine state. You have to be unapologetic when it comes to trying to fuck a girl. The girl that I just cracked the other day, she knew I wanted to fuck her from the moment I seen her. She had a beautiful face. She had nice titties. She had a big old fat ass, and she was about 120 pounds. She was my perfect type. To me, she was a motherfucking 10 out of 10 to me, right? I know some guys, they like their girls a little bit thicker. They like their girls a little bit bigger, whatever the case is. I like them smaller with the weight in the right places. Big old fat ass, nice little perky titties. That's my type. Those are the girls I like to fold. She knew I wanted to fuck her from the moment I saw her. She knew I wanted to, and this is the crazy part. I was just on the phone with my mom, right? And my girl says this too, but it's crazy that like women will tell you the stuff that they're attracted to, which I already know, but sometimes it's good to hear it from a woman. So I was on the phone with my mom, and I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm going to Dallas. You know, I'm fighting this little cold. I said, but my girl think I'm gonna fuck every girl in Dallas. My mom was like, yes, you are, especially with those eyes. I'm like, what you mean with those eyes? She's like, you know how to look at a girl and make her horny. My mom said this. This is my fucking mom. You understand what I'm trying to say? Now, I know that my eyes are pretty intense or whatever the case is. But the reason I know that my eyes are intense is because I don't watch porn and I'm naturally a sexual person. So I can transfer sexual energy into a girl with just my eyes. Because I'm letting it be known that I want to fuck the shit out of you. That's it. Like, I'm just letting it be known. Like, I'm not talking to you just to fucking talk to you. A lot of communication is actually subcommunication. You feel me? Like, a lot of communication is actually subcommunication. That's why the process, the CLG process, works at such a high level. And when you deviate from the CLG process, that's when you start making mistakes. And then that's when you ruin it with the girl that was on the hook. The moment you start deviating from that process is the moment you start ruining it. Guys are so afraid to say less, do less, move things forward, try to get the girl along. They're so afraid of doing these things because they're too afraid of a rejection. What I tell the guy is, if you do get a rejection or an objection, she was never yours to fucking begin with. If she's not complying and doing what you want her to do, and she's not moving on your schedule, she was never yours to begin with. You just thought she was yours because she's in conversation with you. She's talking to you. Because some girls don't talk to you, so this one's talking to you, so you're like, oh, I don't want to fuck it up. No, that proves nothing to me. Just because you're talking to me, that proves nothing to me. What proves something to me is, are you going to follow my lead? And are you going to allow me to do what I want to do with you? And what I want to do with you is I want to fuck the living shit out of you. You feel me? Are you going to allow me to do what I want to do with you? Once a girl allows me to do what I want to do with her, that's how I know it's real. That's when I know it's real. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Once a girl allows me to do what I want to do with her, that's when I know it's real. Anything prior to that, it was just all bullshit. Even if she was in conversation with me, even if she was this, when I'm trying to move things forward, she's like, oh no, I'm married. No. Now I know she full of shit. You understand? She full of shit. She just using me for some attention, or she just wants to feel good, be in conversation with somebody. See, I force a girl to show her hand very quickly. The reason I do that is because I don't really have a lot of time to waste. You know what I mean? If you're not fucking, bitch, get out my face. Now that's me. Some of you guys out there, you don't want to fuck girls. Some of you guys just want to be girls' friends and shit like that. Okay, use the process to get a bunch of girls that's your friend. I'm not a judge, but I know if I'm talking to a girl that I find attractive, I want to fuck her. Like I said, I don't watch a lot of porn. I don't jack off a lot. Yeah, my main chick tries to keep my balls as drained as much as she can, but I still be a horny motherfucker when I see another bad bitch. And here's the crazy part. When I fuck another bad bitch, it makes me appreciate my main bitch even more. You understand? My main bitch gets better quality dick for me too. Now, right now, I'm fighting this little cold. You feel me? So I ain't fucking nothing for probably a couple days. But after this cold is over, I'm back to slaying. You get where I'm coming from? I'm not trying to be overly free, because the reason I showed you that video to begin with is because these girls don't give a fuck about you. They only give a fuck about the men that they respect. If they lack respect for you as a man, they don't give a fuck about you. Just remember that. If she respects you, she's gonna care. If she doesn't respect you, she's not gonna give a fuck about you. My main chick even told me, she said, if we don't work out, I would never put you on child support. Why is that? Because she has high respect for me. You feel me? She said, if we don't work out, I don't want $1 from you. I don't want this. I don't want to put you on child support. Because her respect is high. When I'm going to tell you something too. I'm going to get real deep. Because people be like, well, how come these girls don't respect these athletes? How come they put them on child support and they blast them and they do all of this? I said, because a lot of these athletes, they're actually very hard for a woman to respect, because they do a lot of simp stuff to the woman. They try to lead with their money. That lowers the lady's respect for you. Then they overly lie all the time. Like, everybody knows that this dude is fucking thousands of girls, but he's always lying to her, talking about some, no, baby, it's only you, babe. You know, man, I didn't sleep with that girl. I didn't do that, da-da-da. She's losing respect for that guy. Opposed to me, I don't lie, I just don't say nothing. My girl be like, did you fuck this girl? I'm like, bro, I ain't talking about that shit. You can believe what you want to believe. There's a different level of respect there, because it's like, bitch, I don't have to answer your questions. You can ask them, but I don't have to answer them if I don't feel like it. There's a different way to handle certain situations. But once you get into that lover boy, and athletes do this, they can be men amongst men, but around their bitch, they can still be suckers. What they do is they do a lot of things that forces the woman to lower their respect for that man. So then when the relationship does end, she wants to destroy him. She wants to take half of his income. She wants to take everything. She wants to, because he did so many things for her to lower respect in her eyes. You get what I'm trying to say? So a lot of times when you see these celebrity couples, the girl still doesn't necessarily respect the guy. And another thing too, a girl can lose respect for a guy who takes her serious, like marries her, knowing that she was a hoe in her past. So even with the Cardi B Offset situation, she could have just lost respect for Offset just for taking her serious and marrying her, knowing that she was a hoe in her past. Because she knows deep down inside that, like, a real man's man, if she was a man, she wouldn't marry her. She know if she was a man, she wouldn't marry her. So when she sees that a man did decide to marry her, it throws her off a little bit. She's going to lose some respect there. So there's a lot of things that guys do for women that forces the woman to lose respect for the guy. And it doesn't matter how rich the guy is. Doesn't matter how famous the guy is. Doesn't matter how strong the guy is. Doesn't matter how athletic the guy is. If the guy continues to do that, her respect will keep lower and lower and lower until it meets her minimum respect threshold. Now she does not give a fuck about the guy at all. She doesn't give a fuck if he lives or dies. So you got to understand that most women, if her respect for you isn't high, she doesn't care about you whatsoever. So when I tell people this, when I tell people stuff like this, it throws them for a loop, because they don't understand the importance of having a woman respect you. And these people working on this dumbass car right here, and this dumb bitch don't know how to fucking turn her own fucking car on, and this guy's trying to help her, and he's fucking jumping her car and everything. Holy fuck, this bitch is dumb. Okay, whatever. I think that's the sign to just end the fucking video, because this dumbass bitch, she don't know how to work her own fucking car. And this guy trying to help her, but she just a fucking airhead. So at the end of the day, bro, jump into the CLG community. Like I said, you get a 7-day free trial. Link is in the description. It's also in the comments. It's pinned in the comments. Jump in sooner rather than later so you can become elite sooner rather than later. And with that being said, man, I'm out. Peace.